So now let me ask you this. How do we know that all of the strategies selected by individual teachers are equally effective at getting the kids to the goal line? And how do you know if kids have met the expectation? How do you?
Well, okay, so in order to make that all work, then there needs to be pre-work done, and that's done by building a matrix of 25 key standards that we're going to address. Not that we're not going to address everything, but those are the 25 golden ones for us. So, like for instance, in kinder, letter and sound, syllabication, short vowels, CVC, blending, segmenting. These are key that we must have. Sight words, writing, being able to write simple sentences in the correct format with all, and writing to me, when I think of writing, is the highest level of English language you can do, because you must apply everything. You have to apply capitalization, spacing for concepts of print. It needs to run left to right. You've got punctuation. You have sight words that are what we call heart words, which are not sound outable. You just have to know them. And then you have other words that you can sound out. So you have to know letter and sound correlation in order to put it down. To me, it's like the highest. And then you have to have a thought about what you're going to be doing and a voice about it. So to me, all of those things need to play together. And that's what you need in a matrix, those 25 key ones. But one person can't come up with those. So together as a team of teachers, we decide what are we going to choose. And then afterwards, we divide them into 5 segments of the year. And then we create an assessment that goes with each one of those.
Okay, so you're not leaving it to the honor system of self-report of teachers saying, "Ah, my kids got it. Oh, boy, do they know that M." You together come up with a way of measuring whether the kids have gotten at the end of that chunk of time at mastery of whatever it is that you all set out to do. So I wonder about a couple of things. So I'm contrasting that with common practice because it is now well known that it is in style to have teachers collaborate. Teacher collaboration is a thing. People like to say we do it. People like to pay for it in their budgets. People like to set time aside, but results are not commensurate with that investment very often. So on the question of the difference between those kinds of meetings and the ones you're talking about, now enter data. What do you do with that?
Okay, so after then we have to give the assessment, and we get a window of time to give it in. It's about every 6 weeks. And afterwards, we have everybody put their data scores into a mainframe that we keep it in. And then the following meeting, right away, so that we can look at it, we discuss those scores. Unlike any other system I've ever done in the district, unlike any other testing we've ever done, there's immediate feedback to the teacher on what we're looking at and what we need to do.
Okay, stop right there. So you're not saying that you're using these assessments to grade children.
No, you use the assessment to drive your next 6 weeks. It makes you decide what group is going to be what in your small group activities. Who's changing groups, who's going down or coming up. It lets you understand like what children have learned. It's a stopping point, a snapshot of what they know, and they show it to you, and then you go on from there.
So what I'm wondering is, I'm hearing you imply that assessment is grading yourself as a teacher. You're grading your team as a group of colleagues who set out to accomplish something, and then now you're measuring how successful it was. Is that true? And if so, isn't that a little delicate and sensitive?
It should be. It does take trust to put those scores out there. I'm not always the top scorer and I have my, I'll take the knocks. Okay, fine. I'm at
Again, listen to, you're saying I'm not always the top scorer. To me, this is a whole paradigm difference. You're not saying your students, you're saying you're personalizing the results.
Well, because I'm the one that presented it. And when I look at the results, and I see that another teacher's classroom in a whole did better than mine and everybody else's, then as a team, we don't say, why did Miss Arsenian's class do poorly? We say, Miss Martinez, how did you teach that and what did you use? And then she'll say, oh, I had this thing from the Heidi songs, or I did this, or we played this game every day, but I didn't know if it was going to work. Well, and then other teacher will say, I think you should give us the game so we could play it because we want those scores. It's not about who's not doing right. It's about who did well and how did you do it. Tell me what you did. So the conversation is that way.
This does not, I know this not to be the typical way things work.
No,
Schools.
no, but it does work. And it's been working for, gosh, more years than I can count. And it's a hard thing to do, but at the same time, we also look at the students. So after we discuss how did you do so well and what happened, then we look at the quadrants. That's what they are. There's 4 areas. Challenge being your highest students, those ones who are scoring really well. You have children scoring benchmark, which is good. They could work a little bit harder. Strategic, we need to push them